What is up, YouTube? Today we've got another Brilliant Stars deck for you guys. It's an Arceus VSTAR deck, and this one's brought to you from Frank Persick and Michael Slutzy, who are both playing this over at the Full Grip Games tournament right now. I don't know how they're going to finish, but because by the time I'm recording this, they're both still playing, but they're both doing very well. I know that for sure. But let's look at the interesting twist that these wonderful people have put on the deck. Beedrill. Now, Beedrill's got this attack called Persistent Sting. If you don't know what it does, if your opponent's active Pokemon has any special energy attached to it, it is knocked out. Pretty good. Caveat, it's on a Stage 2 Pokemon. Now, we've got this really cool card called, let me scroll a little bit, Single Strike Mustard, that says I can play this card if it's the last card in my hand. This means I can grab a Single Strike Pokemon from my deck and put it onto my bench, then draw 5 cards. So that's how I get the Beedrill. But let's look at the rest of the deck, because we can't just only rely on beating special energy, right? We've got a 3-2 Arceus line, 2 Beedrill, 2 Lumineon, because we're going to use Lumineon probably early game to ensure that we get this attacker up and running. We're going to ensure that we can get our Beedrill out when we need it, and maybe find that research or that boss or whatever that's crucial that we also need. 1 copy of Galarian Zapdos. I urge that every deck playing Fighting Energy that isn't maybe like a single prize strategy, play this card, because I think Arceus is going to be a very popular card, and most Arceus decks are going to be forced to put 2, maybe 3 V Pokemon into play very easily. So your Fighting Instinct ability kicks in. You can reduce those attack costs and attack for a single fighting to knock out an Arceus V-Star out of nowhere. 1 copy of Crobat with Dark Asset just to fill your hand, really, really good. And then we have Flygon V, a card that can only probably be good in a deck where Arceus is there, because this energy cost is so erratic. With the Draconic Impulse, you need a Grass, 2 Fighting, and a Colorless to do 160 plus 160 if your opponent's active is a VMAX Pokemon, which does knock out almost every VMAX in the game. I think barring Eternatus, which I think you can get the numbers with Choice Belt, because you get to 350. But with 1 Arceus attack, we can get our weird energy counts and put them onto this guy, and all of a sudden we can attack on the next turn. We have 1 copy of Dunsparce, because Urshifu is a huge problem, and we don't want to get like rocked by weakness. Going on to the rest of the deck, we have 4 copies of Air Balloon, because everything in the deck needs to pivot. Everything has fat retreat costs. We need to be able to get into our Beedrill super efficiently if we can. 2 copies of Choice Belt, just to get our numbers up a little bit more. 1 copy on Arceus is really, really good to get that 210 HP knockouts, and then the rest can go on Flygon if we need it. 4 copies of Cram-o-matic. We are going to be discarding cards pretty frequently, and we don't mind flipping a little bit extra to get a little bit deeper. 2 copies of Energy Search. It acts as an item and energy, and a card for Cram-o-matic. 2 copies of Ordinary Rod. Now this lets us shuffle in really important cards, because we're going to have to discard a lot early game. Ultra Ball. Maybe we discard a Beedrill that we don't want to early game, and Flygon requires that we discard 3 energy if we do attack with it, so we want to have this back in the deck to have more energy. 4 copies of Quick Ball, very stable support setup. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, stable setup support. 2 copies of Tower of Darkness. Now, Frank didn't originally have this in his list, but I felt like after playing a couple games with the deck, you wanted a little bit of another stadium that does something beyond just bringing energy back, like Training Court. And we already have a lot of single strike cards that kind of become dead after their first use. So after we get our first Beedrill, or use our first Mustard, we kind of get stuck with our hand. So I felt like maybe playing a copy of Tower of Darkness doesn't really impact us in a negative way, but could be a net positive overall. So we're playing 2 copies of Tower of Darkness and 2 copies of Training Court, both to fulfill like niche stadium support purposes. 2 copies of Boss, 3 copies of Research, 1 copy of Raihan, and 3 copies of Single Strike Mustard, just to kind of get the ball rolling, get the setup going. Everything kind of fills a purpose here. 3 copies of Double Turbo Energy, 5 copies of Fighting, and 3 copies of Grass. We do need more Fighting than we need Grass for this guy right here, so it kind of works out perfectly for us. So with that all being said, let's jump into a game and maybe get a good game here. I've been really liking the deck. Both players have been doing fantastic with it. It's got a really good matchup into Mew with the Beedrill. It's got really good, VMAX type attack coverage, I guess, in the form of this Flygon. And I think Arceus is overall just an insanely good card, because by turn 2, you're always hitting for like 210, 180 as you need it. So going first, you already get put into like a really good advantage. And going second, it's hard to get to turn 1 Beedrill, but like turn 2 or turn 3, you can get Beedrill super easily. Like getting the Mustard off and getting your Beedrill out, the success rate of that is insane with this deck. I'm sure you could take this exact skeleton and play something else like Duraludon if you wanted to, another single strike attacker if you wanted to. But this Beedrill list has been super, super good and refreshingly, like, amazing. Opening hand is okay. Oh my, that's not what I wanted to do. So that's just something I need to mentally note, I guess. While you guys are playing, if you do notice any bugs or anything, please let me know. I will be trying to relay it, put it on social media, kind of get the word out there. We do basic fighting in case of fan, and then we pass, because we don't really need anything else right now. We have the double turbo in hand. We have the Flygon, but the rest of the hand kind of blows. We can take a knockout next turn with Power Edge if we want to. We can Trinity Charge as well, just set up our board. Now that we know we're up against, it's a dark style deck. If you guys enjoy the content, obviously also like, subscribe. I'm going to go back to daily uploads. I will do daily uploads until Utah Regionals. Every single day you can expect a video from me until March 19th. And then we will see where we are going with that. So it's dark. Okay, a great top deck for us. And let's go ahead and play the game now. Let's go ahead and discard these two pieces to grab ourselves the Arceus VSTAR. Now we see that the Dunsparce is in the deck, and we're going to go get that Dunsparce with our Star Birth probably here. Flygon comes down, because I think it's a fine card to grab. Or put down to accelerate energy too, sorry. Let's get the Dunsparce, and let's get a research. Don't get too complicated with it. Actually, maybe inspect board. Maybe I get another Ultra Ball, and let's get that mustard rolling, actually. You guys feeling mustard? Lumineon into mustard into Beedrill. Yeah, let's do that. This deck, this matchup, or this game is about showing off what this mustard deck can do. So to prove a point, with Starbirth, you can pretty much get it. That's probably not an insanely great point to prove, but you can get it. You can get there. And we can go ahead and grab ourselves the mustard. Now, this makes it difficult for our opponent to decide what to do on this following turn, because we can just Beedrill knock them out if they come up and do something to us, or sit there with the boss. Rest of the hand's okay here, but we'll go ahead and just Trinity Nova, take one prize, and power up our board. Now, keep in mind, Trinity Nova can only attach to V Pokemon, so we're going to not be able to put this grass that we're going to pull out of the deck on this guy here, but it'll still pull it out of the deck for us. Now, important to note, looks like we have all our grass in deck, but we did prize two fighting. We prized 2 fighting energy. We can use double turbo energy to attack, I guess, but it's not ideal in the most ideal scenario. This Urshifu now has a rapid energy on it. He can hit into us, but he needs to deal with this threat right here, this threat right here. And I mean, if he doesn't knock this out and find a grass energy, I just go balloon, boom, boom, boom. I've got the boss angle right here in hand already. We just have to find some more pieces. Now, I think ideally our opponent does want to rapid flow this turn, probably hitting our active and hitting into the Dunsparce, or maybe hitting the Flygon and hitting the Dunsparce. We will be short until we get the Choice Belt here to knock this active out. But if we get the Choice Belt here, this game is basically locked up, I think. Is our opponent just got 100 Furious Blows, maybe? We'll see. Research comes down. We'll see how many cards they can get here. Okay. Telescopic Sight. That helps them out. If they get the Oranguru as well, they'll be able to take 3 prize cards here, which is a little bit annoying, actually. It looks like a lot of players are still favoring playing Urshifu, despite Mew's popularity and success. This might just be my experience from ladder, but there's the Big Daddy piece that we're looking for. We did pitch our 1 copy of Raihan, which feels a little bit bad in the event that we get knocked out here. Our opponent could just honestly hit this and hit this, or hit these two, and just kind of play for the pings on one of them, or hit both this and this, and just ignore the Dunsparce entirely, which I don't know if that's correct. But this turn is a rapid flow turn for sure. There's the Passimian, indicating that these 2 things are probably going down. Now, what this does for us is we can attack in with the Flygon, and we can prep to end the game through that route. If we get the knockout here on this attacker here, our opponent needs a Raihan next turn to even attack us. So let's see what they do. I think Dunsparce goes down every time. Nope, we're going to take the 2 prizes here for sure for free. And drum roll, please. Okay, so our opponent's going for a more aggressive approach, saying that this Arceus V is something I can deal with down the line. With the ability to get an Inteleon out next turn, they can definitely take this out without any problems. A great top deck for us. And all we're looking for is the Choice Belt. So let's find it. Here's where it gets a little bit scary. Let's pitch the Air Balloon. Come on, heads. That's a tails. Okay. Not an ideal world there. I don't think it's ideal to hit in with Draconic Impulse either. So I think we just go for a Trinity Nova. And we have to not pull any energy from the deck. So that's a little bit of a doozy there. A little bit unfortunate. But maybe we could have dug with the Crobat and been a little bit greedier if we wanted to. Maybe we should have gone a little bit deeper. I'm not entirely sure. With their Drizzle, they should be able to grab a Boss here. Or whatever card, would best aid them. Probably a Rope. Probably some sort of a switching card. I don't know what I'd give them, though, if they roped me here. At the very least, this powers itself up. So he gets energy. Now the tools are showing up here. That's kind of cute. I like that. Attach tools. There's a level ball. That's just thinnable. That's just being wasted here, yeah. Maybe a research coming through. That grabbing the Drizzle indicates heavily we're seeing a research this turn. There it is. They didn't rope this turn, so they're going to leave this guy in the active. At the very least, all they're looking for is the Inteleon this turn to get a ping off to set up a potential just 2-turn game. But shady dealings, Inteleon. Oh, interesting. Maybe they need something this turn. They've already supported. What could they get? Energy Search, probably for an attachment. And a Scoop Up Net. Okay. Now, everything I'm seeing so far with this turn from our opponent doesn't do anything about moving this Urshifu out of the active. So I don't know if giving up 3 prize cards to me is part of the plan. Because it feels like I'm not even fighting for these 3 prize cards. Maybe another Rapid Flow is in the cards right here. There it is. I mean, here, if he just smacks my active and has a Raihan in the upcoming turns, it could just be lights out for me. There's an E-Search. Now, this deck doesn't have any Marnie or anything like that, which is a little bit sketchy. But usually we're aggressive. Usually we're the ones in the driver's seat. But Urshifu does not seem like a fantastic matchup. But the rest of the field does. Okay, so now our opponent has taken out the Dunsparce, indicating that with a Raihan onto a baby Urshi, they will win the game as well. So, kind of cute there. If we can find the Ordinary Rod this turn and get the Dunsparce back, maybe we're okay. But, obviously, it's not looking fantastic. Let's go ahead and Training Court. Make sure we have an energy left. That might have been a mistake by giving our opponent an energy as well. But they were going to have that energy anyway. So we missed everything, really. Truly. So we're going to get the Flygon. We're going to grab an energy back. Just get the attachment off for the turn. And I guess we'll just hit with Trinity Nova. Or Starbirth, sorry. Or Trinity Nova, yeah. If I hit the Rod there, I did have an avenue to get ourselves the Dunsparce back. So it looks like this might be cooked. We might have lost this game in general. But you can see the strength of the deck. You can see how quickly we were able to set up, get everything rolling. Just a generally cool deck. Like, this deck preys on Mew VMAX. It beats other Arceus decks. I've beat a lot of Shadow Riders and Ice Riders today on ladder. I'm just a huge fan of the deck so far. Obviously, I think we found our one bad matchup. And we're displaying what happens to us. But it's interesting. It's very interesting to see. There's a chance we can always just boss this Moltres up if he misses an attack and hit into it. We gotta see how many bosses we have left. We have 2 bosses total left. So we can execute that plan pretty flawlessly. Or if he goes Baby Urshi, attaches a Rapid Energy, that could be the avenue we need to win because we have that game in hand if it happens. That last turn, also, if we hit the Rod, we can power up another Flygon with no worries. But obviously the biggest worry is if our opponent finds himself with an 11-card hand, Urshifu, Raihan. All he needs is Urshifu, Raihan, Energy, and the game ends. There's the Raihan. Let's see if he gets the Urshifu. No, he's Raihaning to the Moltres. Oh, interesting. But he can still E-switch, I guess. E-switch still works. Dark goes into the discard. Gets the acceleration there. Fails the search for an Urshifu. Dark to Moltres. Dire Flame Winks. Stadium. Show me that Stadium. And we're going to get smacked for a ton of damage here. We're going to see the quick shooting ping come down also, which now puts our opponent at 220, 240 damage, but he's going for the Beedrill. But he Raihan'd, so he would need the boss there. Unless they have a rope. Rope would lose me the game here, if they had rope. Interesting. They have a boss for next turn. It's pretty clear that they have a boss in hand. So the question is, can I do anything about it? The answer is no, I think, but we're going to see with this Cram. Maybe there's a hidden trick I'm missing. Rod for maybe something here. Grass doesn't do anything for me. Let's just get the Rod. Let's put some energies back into the deck. Just kind of prep for worst case scenario, I guess, or best case scenario maybe. Let's do these 2. Yeah. Arceus comes down just to have another Pokemon on the bench. Let's go ahead and just boss up the Moltres, play to our win condition. Attach the Flygon. I think we're cooked. But there's no tell until we do it, right? We attack here. We get the 2 basic grass. Set up our Flygon. And we'll see. If our opponent has the boss's orders, it is over. I do have a good feeling they have it. They haven't played one yet this game. And based on that last turn's movement, the boss seems pretty imminent. But also the ping here is very weird. So, also based on my last turn, what I should have done is put back a Lumineon. If I put back a Lumineon, I would have had access to a boss's orders again, which is my mistake, actually. Now I have no Lumineon, no Crobat, so my Ultra Ball becomes significantly weaker. That's in my hand. Another retreat. Okay. No boss still. Oh, just some BM. Okay. That's fine. That's cute. So they had it the whole time. They were just hornswoggling me. But that is the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, shout out Frank, shout out Michael for the deck. These guys are amazing people. Frank is an amazing, amazing deck builder. So stay tuned for another YouTube video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see deck list wise. Remember to subscribe, like, and you know the drill. Peace out.